Welcome to section 11.4 of immunology. In this section, we'll be discussing the cytokines released from Treg cells. Let's get started. We introduced this figure in our video on T cell activation and subtypes. Here we can see the Treg cell along with the cytokines it secretes, including TGF-beta, IL-10, and IL-35. All right, with this in mind, let's focus on memorizing these cytokines. This scene takes place outside of a TGIF restaurant where one of the restaurant staff members can be seen handing out samples to guests who are waiting to get inside. Also notice that just outside of the restaurant's entrance, you can see a very large Traeger grill. Traeger grill is our symbol for Treg cells. Traeger sounds kind of like Treg, so this will be our symbol for Treg cells. Also notice that the grill has a light shining on it. This is to help reinforce the idea that this story is all about Treg cells. Finally, we can see that the employee is taking samples from the Traeger grill and handing them to the customers waiting in line. So again, this image is all about Treg cells. The restaurant TGI Fridays, or TGIF, which you can see right here, should make you think of TGF-beta. Everything in the restaurant will be about TGF-beta. So notice that just inside of the entrance, one of the servers can be seen ringing a bell to usher some guests to their table. Recall that our symbol for TH17 is a person who holds a bell and helps people. So this should help you remember that Treg cells release TGF-beta, which activates TH17 cells. Inside of the restaurant, you can also see another Traeger grill. The Traeger grill inside of the TGIF restaurant should help you remember that TGF-beta activates Treg cells. A passing customer can be seen giving a dime to a worker who's installing an interlocking floor system outside of the restaurant. The dime, which is worth 10 cents, along with the interlocking floor, will symbolize IL-10. A worker who is supposed to be helping the flooring installer has fallen asleep on a makeshift seat constructed out of a stack of the interlocking planks. The sleeping idea should make you think of downregulation. As her head droops into her hand, her index finger can be seen sticking out, along with the writing on her shirt, which reads TH1. So altogether, this sleeping worker perched on top of the interlocking floor material should help you remember that IL-10 downregulates TH1 activity. A customer waiting to be seated in the restaurant has also decided to sit down next to the sleeping worker to get off of her feet for a minute. She's holding a cage in her lap with a sleeping hamster inside of it. Cages are a symbol for macrophages, and the sleeping animal inside shows a lack of activity. So this is to help you remember that IL-10 downregulates macrophage activity. This customer has been waiting for so long that she has also started to doze off and accidentally knocked her drink off of the makeshift bench. The splatter from the drink after falling to the ground kind of looks like a dendritic cell. So this should help you remember that IL-10 downregulates dendritic cells. Off to the side of the restaurant is an area for parties, where a birthday party is being held and a guy who is turning 35 can be seen blowing out the candles on his cake. Some of the kids at the party have taken a bunch of balls from the nearby ball pit and formed them into a tetrahedral shape. This shape is unique because it requires 35 balls to form. So if you stacked up 35 balls in a pyramid-type formation, you'd get this tetrahedron. So this shape of the balls, along with the 35 candle reference, should help you think of the number 35. Notice that meanwhile, another particularly rowdy kid has grabbed one of the interlocking planks and is getting ready to smash the tetrahedron stack of balls. The interlocking wooden tiles should make you think of interleukin. So putting all of these ideas together should help you remember that Treg cells secrete IL-35. One of the employees of the restaurant that's helping with this party is wearing a shirt with TH17 written on it. He's been here for a while, so now we can see him at the party falling asleep while standing up. He had brought a bell out with him to sing happy birthday, but he's on the back end of a double shift and he just couldn't stay awake anymore. Anyways, this should help you remember that IL-35 downregulates TH17 activity. All right, that should be everything you need to know about cytokines secreted from Treg cells.